Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead. So this is going to be from the 9th to the 16th of December 2024. If you want to book in a personal, it's now available on the website. You can book a face-to-face, you can book the tarot coaching, a lot of people deep coaching for the new year. If you want the 2025, that is the big seller right now, and it covers 2025. It looks into key details. Okay, so like the video and comment, okay? Obviously Mercury retrograde, now we've got Mars retrograde, so it's going to be another intense week. But I think it's because we're getting to the end of the year and there's a lot of things that Gemini are having to tolerate. You're feeling caged. Okay, some years it's your own shadow. You're having to be around people, you're having to be in environments, you're having to deal with things that you just don't want to deal with. Okay, so the strength card can be where our shadow is starting to come out. We're very triggered, we're very pressed. There's a lot of restriction in the solar plexus for some of you it's the womb. So I'm getting there's an internal fight for Gemini this week, but a lot of you it's because the reality that you're trying to suffocate yourself in, you don't belong in. These aren't your people, this isn't your place, and this isn't your environment. And so you're going to keep having these reactions, you're going to keep having these triggers until you accept that fact. Okay? So I just feel like some of you is like the way you're looking, the way you're feeling in yourself, the kind of environment, the kind of job, it's just not what you want no more. But you're struggling to recreate yourself, you're struggling to take new paths, make changes, but that's the solution. The solution, I feel like the solution for you is the old self must die for some of yous. Now, for the Geminis who are happy, you could be dealing with people around you who are kind of primal and they're a bit of a problem. But for most Geminis, I'm getting it as that you're riddled with stress, anxiety, you're feeling deeply triggered within yourself, deeply frustrated. The people around you are also pressing that. We've got a Mercury retrograde going on, a Mars retrograde going on. It's the end of the fucking year. People are like, I'm not doing this again, but how the fuck do I get out of this box? So we talked about this last week. So you've got to be your own best friend. Try not to be your own worst enemy now. Whatever you can control, you should control. And that's what I'm saying. Another one for Geminis this week is that a lot of people are dickheads. Bored people bore. Stop giving them your energy. You've got to understand that we live in a parasite reality where people are leeching off attention, they're leeching off people's resources, they're leeching off people's um, focus. Okay, so I think a message for Geminis this week is where focus goes, energy flows, okay? And some of you, you're just in a bad fucking spot. Like, it's a bad cycle. It's tough as fuck. It's the fight of your life. And you better get up and start throwing some fucking punches back. I'm not joking. Like, they're coming for it all, and you better stand up and you better start to let people know the line. Yeah, no. Like, you know? Because yes, I think for Gemini's, like, you've allowed people in your weakness, in your fear, to cross motherfucking lines, and they just keep crossing them. So I feel like a message, though, on a serious note, is the message for this week is all about recreating yourself. Something is going to have to die, and it could be a version of you. Some of you has this deep trauma here, so I was getting that before I came onto the video, like there's real trauma here. And it's the trauma keeps bringing in these low frequency motherfuckers, the trauma keeps bringing in these non-committal men, the trauma, because everything is frequency, right? And I feel like your frequency is just low. And so some of you don't understand because actually you're doing the work, you're showing up, but you keep manifesting these lower frequency people into your reality. And it's like, okay, so then it's not the work that's the problem, it's the energy, it's the unconscious, it's deeper work that you need to do the inner work, you need to go deep to see why you keep bringing in these people who devalue you, disrespect you. You give your whole heart, you give your whole self, your whole essence, and yet they just don't appreciate it. Again, I know this for me, that some Geminis are just out of the lane. If you don't start to see your value in 2025, nothing's going to change. These people are never going to give you your value. We said this last week. So some years it's time to get around different tables, get in different rooms, take a different approach, and let the fucking haters hate. Let them motivate. Like, bitch, sit there and watch. I'm going to let you watch. Did you like it when you see me at me weakest? Yeah, I'm going to let you see me at me best. And you can watch that show too. Okay, so the devil's coming regardless. This is what people don't understand. Even Matrix people, haters, like low frequency people. The devil's coming for everybody. He's coming for you all. So you can all do it the way you want to do it, but in the end, you might as well, you know. So I feel like a big message is, but some years it's about taking a calmer approach. I do think a lot of what we're in is people are just really drowning and they're really struggling. And so everybody's kind of rubbing off on each other. Then you've got the Mercury retrograde in Cancer that's bringing up a lot to do with our youth, a lot to do with our childhood. So it's really acting in your best version, knowing how to control your appetite, your darker self. But there's other people who are trying to use their dark self to control you. Best of luck. If you want to see a psycho, you've got one. Because I do think Geminis are really just at the end of the rope. It's like, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Because it will be a mistake. Okay? And remember, the winner is the one who will always go to the worst end of the line. And I do think some Geminis are there. Right, so some of you need to be careful with your shadow, your darker self this week, because I do get that there's some dark thoughts towards people. I think there's some disgust. I think there's some high triggers towards people. Some of you are receiving a lot of dark energy from other people. They just don't like you. We talked about this, so it's where smiling faces and knives in the back. Some people just don't like you, right? I feel like for you this week, it's really about focusing on what matters. Because the good stuff for this week I get for you is that a lot of you just want to be happy, But I'm getting that even basic stuff is triggering you. Like even stupid shit is triggering you. Just basic mundane stuff that shouldn't really be a problem. You shouldn't really be having a reaction to. You're really, really having a reaction to. And that's a strong message to a person that they're overloaded, maybe sensory. So this is a person who's struggling with sensory overload, emotional overload, physical overload, and they're hitting that wall, okay? So you need to pay attention to that this week, especially if you're having reactions to just little basic stupid stuff that really shouldn't be a big meltdown. It shouldn't be a big reaction. But I'm getting for some of you, there's a lot of just intensity, right? Lots of stress, lots of blockage in the womb, lots of blockage in the root. Until you do this work, until you get the Reiki cleansing, until you do the deeper work, you're going to keep manifesting in the reality, the energetic residue, what you're carrying. Some of you have got like cheap people who are trying to get a reaction or gauge. Just see it for what it is. Obviously, if you have to deal with people because they become a problem, but cheap mind games, cheap people, bored people, bore, I wouldn't give it any attention. Because that's what the devil's going to send. The devil is going to send his army. He's going to send the people who've hung up the boots, give up on the dreams, people who are done, right? They live through social media, judging everybody else while they're building. That's what they do. So it's an intense week and we're going to pull some cards now, but I think there's a few key messages. Mars is in retrograde, so some enemies might make a comeback. Some grudges that you've been holding on to in yourself might come back up. Okay? It's really important at this time to handle your enemies correctly, to handle your own dark side correctly. Okay, anger is a great fuel. It's a great drive if it's channeled correctly. And that's what I'm saying. The people who are trying to keep you down, the people who are trying to get a reaction, the best way to do it is to just become your best version. Because these demons, these dark cunts, they hate that. They want to see you washed out. They want to see you hiding. They want to see you not showing up. That's great for them. Right, I feel like the message is rise, okay, with everything that they're throwing at you, use it as fuel. So, what else are we seeing this week that Geminis need to be aware of, please? Okay, so this is what I'm getting, like, there is a lot of things that you can put into action. The Seven of Cups can be someone who's got a lot of ideas. The only problem is that the nervous system, so there's too much energy. You don't know how to ground yourself. You don't know how to channel yourself. So none of these ideas are coming to fruition. I think that that's what's frustrating you. You know how talented you are. You know what you can do. But maybe some of you need to look at what you're putting in your body. Alcohol, drugs, caffeine, things that make you overstimulated so then you're not grounded. Some of you this year, you've been all foggy, fuzzy, You've been all over the place. There's been no routine. There's been no discipline. You know, and there's another message which, stop blaming everyone else. Some of it's not the world stopping you, Gemini. You're your own worst enemy. You're stopping yourself. You're focused, you know, like, who gives a fuck what people are saying behind your back? Who gives a fuck the next move? Make the move then, and I'll respond accordingly. Like, you need to worry about your next move. You need to worry about where you're sabotaging yourself, not everybody else. That doesn't matter. I think some of you are too outwardly focused. And another message is you could be paying too much attention to people who are living their life. You need to look at people, get inspired, and then think about what you want to achieve. Get around the right rooms. We were talking about this. People who genuinely support you, people who genuinely want to see you win. It's been a hard year, you know, like I said, Geminis are really riddled with a lot of stress. You know, you're really pressed, you're really triggered. Some of you, it's a relationship. This is what you've got to stop doing. You're fucking with the wrong people, you're going down the wrong road, you're investing in the wrong things. Like, it's time to start getting real with yourself. Okay, some of it's been the world, some of it's been karmic energies, some of it's been karmic enemies, some of it's been you've just been through a hard cycle. That's life. You'll get grace periods where life is giving you good shit, and then you'll get times where it's kicking your face in and it's beating you to the floor. That's life. Like, you're going to have those graceful periods where life is blissful and amazing and it just feels awesome, and then you're going to have those tests of your life where it's like, do I just give up? Is it always going to be this way? You know? So, but I think some of you, you're coming to the end of that. That if you so wish for it to be, the Justice card is getting to the end of a hard cycle emotionally. People who've been single for a long time, people who've been struggling financially, but a lot of it is you've got to get out this Neptune energy. You're in this Neptune energy. Geminis are we think a lot. We really struggle with grounding ourselves. We really struggle with the 3D reality. But if your dreams are going to come to fruition, you've got to start setting discipline. You've got to start writing shit down. You've got to start getting organised in your time, where you're putting your focus, where you're putting your energy, or you'll never achieve nothing. The world is very harsh. There is just random people you don't know who want to see your downfall. It's crazy. Like, the times we live in is crazy, right? But I do think as well, it's because everybody's looking at you, right? If you're in social media, people are watching you, people are sending you energy. This is where people are policing each other. They think they've got the right to dictate people's movements, people's minds, all this wokeism. Your job is to not give a fuck. This is my life, this is my destiny, and I'm not going to let you hold the pen. Sorry, Karen. Sorry, Dave. Wind your fucking neck in. Anybody you'd have to really go to town with, conserve your energy for them. And make an example of them so that other motherfuckers look in and go, yeah, I'll choose someone else. Okay? So I just think, like, you need to cut the shit, the petty drama. I understand that there's a lot of drama that people are trying to bring you into. But again, like I said, bored people bored. There's a lot of people out here, they've sold out on the dreams. They hate the life they're living. They're single. They're fucking fat. They're unhappy. You know? And I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm saying, like, they're the type of people who are trying to keep you down. Your job is to be like, okay, what is it I want? What kind of people do I want to be around? How do I want to spend my days? And stop focusing on the lower frequencies. Raise your motherfucking standards. Raise your frequency. Okay? Because a lot of years, the life you're living in is suffering, and it's not the destiny that God intended for you. As above, so below. The magician has a lot of skills. And that's the jealousy, Gemini. People know that you can really do many things in a lifetime, and that's the jealousy. Because most people struggle to find one talent that they're good at. Okay, so the jealousy, the hatred, the demonic attacks, that's just part of the game now. And you've got to get better with how you handle that. You can't be running around getting fucking pressed and tested and triggered by every low frequency dickhead. Like, bore someone else. Move, or I'll move you. Okay? Like I said, I'm not saying you shouldn't have aggressive reactions to some people who are testing your safety or coming after you, but your energy should be conserved for the real battles, not this petty, you know, low kid, teenage shit that people are doing now. Okay? So, but I do think, let's move it back to Gemini. Lots of energy this week, like really, really feeling like your vessel is like, it's like got so much anxiety, so much energy. you can do two things. You can sit in your head and you can brood, or you can use all your fear, all your triggers, all your energy to channel it, shape it, mold it into new directions, financially, emotionally, spiritually. Coming back to what I said, inner work has got to be done. For some of you, you've suffered heinous emotional abuse. Okay, that's what this is with this Eight of Cups and this Queen of Cups, especially the Geminis who've got Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Moon. You've been really abused emotionally. Your sensitivity has been used against you. Some of you haven't found that divine counterpart. These men are always abusing you. They're always leeching off you. You know, they use your emotions, they use your sensitivity, and they feed nothing back. It's time to do emotional work, learn about your patterns emotionally. Now, another message for Gemini is if you're out here expecting to get everything for free, if you're not putting the time and energy into your own healing, if you're not investing in coaches and growth, well, okay, some of you think you've got the answers to everything and your life's a mess. Think about that for intelligence. So some of you are out here thinking, oh, I'm intelligent, I'm smart. It's like, well, look at your life. That'll tell you how smart you are and how intelligent you are. Are you single? Are you penniless? You're not that intelligent then, are you? So, you know, I'm a Gemini too. Sometimes we are too smart for our own good. And we can be intelligent, but we have limitations. Same for the Gemini man. It's time to do the work, especially the inner work. Because the moon card is the divine feminine, but it's all about what we've buried in the unconscious mind, what we've suppressed. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Do you want to keep fronting or do you want to get everything that they tried to take from you? Do you want to get everything that's divinely yours? And I wouldn't focus on trying to make a point to the people who've done bad things to you. There has been a lot of bad done to you. I would focus on being happy. Being happy, what makes you happy, who makes you happy, focus on that, right? And some of you, I understand what you're in because I've had to be around it and it's painful. Some of these motherfuckers are disgusting. They're disgusting. Having to breathe in the same air is a form of torture. I'm not trying to be a bitch, I'm just telling you. But I'm saying, if you are going to get out of this and really live on your terms and really be free, you've got to focus on what matters, and that means not trying to take on every demon because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of lost people, a lot of unhappy people, and they want to keep you in their vortex. You have to now say, this is what matters to me, this is who matters to me. You'll make enemies because people will say, you know, who the fuck do you think you are? We don't care. Don't know you, don't owe you. A lot of yous are out here having sleepless nights over cunts you don't know. Don't know you, don't owe you. And some of yous, the cunts you don't know are your own family, the people around you who don't support you. Blood isn't always thicker than water. So what I'm saying is it's time to put things into priority. Who's really showed up for you this year? Who's a true person in your life? Because that's the only people you should care about. Okay? The people who've been there for you at your lowest point, the people you can be vulnerable with. The rest of them, don't know you, don't know you. Don't give a fuck if you're my mother. Okay? If you haven't showed up for me like a mother, you're a stranger like everybody else. Okay? Now, don't walk around with an attitude problem. I want you to show compassion this week because not everybody out here is a demon. People are deeply, deeply struggling. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So if you can do some laughter, if you can say some kindness, if you can show some compassion, do it. Okay, because it makes a big difference, right? People really need to see other people now being genuine and authentic and a bit selfless. Okay, it really helps. Because I think as well that that's what Gemini wants. You want to see the world in a better place. You want genuine people. You want to feel like you made someone happier that day. Okay, so be the example you wish to see in the world. Be the example you wish to set. Okay. I'm going to say it's an amazing week though, because I could feel when I just said that the emotion building up, right? Some of you kind of feel like, why do I always have to be the bigger person? Why do I always have to be the one? Because you're the magician. Because God uses your vessel. Because you are supposed to be the example to the many. That's why. It is heavy, but we all have our crosses to bear. But Gemini, by the divine, as above, so below, God uses you to convey a message through music, through a certain talent, through your voice, through the way you present yourself on a day-to-day basis. He expects it of you. And instead of running around, and I think we've all done this to an extent, complaining about what God has bestowed on you, you should see it as an honour. That he believes that your vessel is powerful enough, that you are powerful enough to take on that weight. It is hard to speak the truth and be attacked. It is hard to be somebody who stands against the masses, who takes the bullets, but it's also an honour as well, right? So you've got powerful gifts and you've got powerful talents, and God is telling you, stop feeding the devil, I've got you. But you keep feeding into the devil, I've got you. Your gifts were bestowed by me. They might be attacking you, but I'm standing behind you. Trust a bit more. Okay? So, but some of you, I think you need to stop getting distracted. Like, I'm going to say that this week, it's like you feel shit in yourself and it's not the way you want to feel. Right? The way you're looking is not the way you want to look. This year has come for us, the last few years have come for humanity. The pandemic, all of the shit that's happened. So show compassion. Know when to be good to people, and know when to look people in the face and say, hey, move. Don't fuck with me. Don't. Try someone else, but don't fuck with me. Don't. Okay, we're not scared of the demons. We're not scared of the devil. We are Geminis. We're gangsters. We're women and men with a sword. Don't fuck with us. Especially now, because we've had a lot taken from us. We've had a lot done to us. Don't fuck with me, okay? Because you'll get the war you want. Okay, don't. But I'm saying don't walk around with an attitude problem. Stop creating drama. Stop creating illusions. Some of you are doing this where you're paranoid and you're making assumptions and what you're thinking isn't even happening. Calm the fuck down. Take a seat. Some of you need to be aware of that you're having reactions, but it's not true in the current reality. It's coming from old trauma. That's why you've got to go to a trauma coach. Mercury retrograde, somatic healer. Also, I think Mercury retrograde is mushing us. It's really tied on us. This Mercury retrograde has been really difficult, I think. And I think it's because it's in Cancer. So Mercury retrograde in itself is challenging, but in Cancer, fucking hell. But what it's also doing, the Mercury retrograde in Cancer is showing you that you want a home, you want family, you want people you can love and depend on, and you don't want to be alone. That's what's showing you, okay? Mercury retrograde is a chance to go back over our old wounds, our childhood, our family, to look at what they did to us and how they've created this life of loneliness. How you're constantly told that if you're not being strong every day, you're weak. Humans are both strong and weak at the same time. And I feel like the message here is to accept that to want companionship, to want people to depend on does not make you weak. It actually makes you strong. We're all vulnerable. Okay, so Two of Cups, this is all about relationships, but I think it's also about quality over quantity. And like I said, I do feel like some of us this week, there's so many ideas, there's so much in the ether that you can bring into reality. Now, I understand this matrix, I'm dealing with it too. It's noisy, it's triggering, the people act like dickheads, people are stressed, like there's all kinds going on. But your job is to just say, I don't care. I don't care what I've got to face. I don't care what I've got to do to get myself to where I want to go. I'm going to do it. If it's working all night, whatever it is, you're going to do it. Okay? Seven of Cups can be people who've got a drink problem. So remember, alcohol is an anti-suppressant. Some of you might be using alcohol. Just be careful with that. Okay? It can help. Like if you're in a real high stress, it's either a heart attack or some drink, but just be careful, monitor your numbers. If it's getting out of control, it's time to speak to someone, because alcohol can be an anti-suppressant. Smoking cannabis can help to calm you down, but if you start to use it as a coping mechanism, it can have the altered effect. It can have an adverse effect. Okay? Some of us, it's really about we're not leaning on coping mechanisms anymore. We're not letting the world distract us. We know what we fucking want and we're getting it. And you can all come and you can all chatter. We're getting what is divinely ours. But some of yous, the world is not your big enemy, Gemini. You are. You're not listening. You're not applying yourself. You're not disciplining yourself. You're getting distracted. You're the one living through everyone else. You're the one having an opinion of everybody else. You need to tune in, meditate, do some training, start really listening to yourself. I think another message is I just nearly had like, I feel like some of you don't want to confront what's in your womb. You don't want to confront what's in your solar plexus. You don't want to confront what's being done to you. Some of you it was sexual abuse, some of you it's violence. You don't want to confront what's being done to you, but you have to. You don't want to bring up those deep wounds. You've really buried them deep in the unconscious mind. There's some things that you just don't want to look at. But you know what they say, whatever you resist persists. There's a great future coming for you. Like there's a lot of victory, there's a lot of happiness, and it's a tragedy because in Geminis you know exactly what you want. Some of you are doing the work, but some of you are not. You're out here with your mouth, you're complaining, you're deflecting, you're projecting. It's time to do the work. Some of you have got like jealousy or envy towards other women or people who've got relationships or money. But jealousy and envy is also, it's a trigger point, right? Which is, that's what I want. I want that money. I want that relationship. I want that body. So what? Competition can be healthy. Jealousy can be healthy because it's showing you what you actually want. Another message is fuck other people. Fuck what they look like. Fuck what they've got. This is your journey. I think some Geminis need to look in the mirror and be like, okay, this is what God gave me. Let's work with this. Let's make this good. Let's make this its best fit. Fuck what everyone else is doing, what they look like, what does God give you is the message. Ace of Pentacles. So this is all about the root chakra. I do think it is a week for grounding. If you can spend time in nature, get out of the frequencies, because the frequencies are making you crazy. People are making you crazy. They're making you triggered. The Ace of Pentacles for me is going off to remote places, ground and places where there's not heavy frequencies. Remember, humans are a frequency, so every vessel is its own frequency. And then places are a frequency. Music's a frequency. So a big message this week is pay attention to the music you're listening to, the people that you're around. Try to get out into nature, go for walks, get into fresh air. And that's another big message. Another big message is recreating yourself. Until you start living differently, thinking differently, feeling differently, it's just going to be the same perpetual cycle. Now, you can book your 2025 to see what 2025 has in store for you, and it'll give you a lot of guidance. There's also deep coaching that's on deal at this time, 8 readings and a journal. So that's for the people who really want to invest. Learn a lot, go over the childhood, go over the shadow, all of these things. But it's time to do the work. Okay, some of yours, you don't have these deep issues. Where you need to do the work is in your discipline. This is going back to basics, going back to the root. In other words, the way you live in your life, the way you're organising your time is the problem. Some of you have got big bag. Money's not a problem. But when you cry yourself to sleep at night and feel deeply lonely, that's the problem. Doesn't make you weak. What it means is that you need to now start to invest in a relationship. Okay, you don't have trauma, you don't have money problems, but you might have some emotional issues. You really want to build a connection, build a life with someone. So that's the investment that you need to make. Some of you are sitting there feeling dirty in your energy, dirty in your body, fat, sloppy, dirty. Okay, that's the investment that you need to make. Join the gym now before the new year. Go for it, right? Start getting into, even if you're just going there and going through the motions, it will start to train the unconscious mind to get ready to prepare for cleanliness and health. If there's people that make you feel dirty and weak, that's the investment that you need to make. No investment. In other words, they need to be gone out your life. You don't sit in those rooms, you don't go to those houses, you don't fuck with those people. Absolutely no. Okay? I feel like 2025, and I haven't done the 2025 read yet, but I feel like 2025 for the Geminis who gangster up, No more complaining about the matrix. No more complaining about people who don't give a fuck. No more complaining about people who don't invest in you. For the Geminis who gangster up, it's going to be an epic year. Because you're just done. You're not negotiating. You're not complaining. You know what it is. Demonic. Okay? You're not negotiating with demons. You're not convincing people to love you or support you. You're just done. And people will see by your actions how you're not fucking joking. I'm not joking. And I think with the dark, you're also willing to do whatever it takes to protect yourself. I think for some of you, the dark really infiltrated your life. They really crossed the line. And it's like, yeah, no. So you're starting to take energy attacks and dark work and all of this thing seriously because you know how much it can affect your life. So you're handling your enemies correctly. You're handling your life correctly. You're taking responsibility. Okay, so life is a reps game. You get what you invest in, and people who leech, people who exploit, they get nowhere in the end. Okay, so it's time to start saying, okay, who am I investing in? How am I investing my time? How am I disciplining myself? How am I spending my days? How am I showing compassion? All those deeper questions. You know, but yes, this year I think you need to take the people around you. You need to take what's triggering you and use it as inspiration for the life you want to build. If you're living in some shithole and you really want your own house, you need to think about how you can make money to build that reality. If you're sitting there and you're like using alcohol or you're using drugs and you're using distractions because you feel deeply lonely and you're scared of investment, a lot of people are scared of human connection because they often suffer a lot of betrayal. But if you're going to have those connections, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to do the deeper work. You're going to have to invest in that area. See the way I'm tripping? So I feel like that's a big message this week. Some of you are tripping. You're getting really angry. You're getting really reactive. You're getting really like pressed by people. Some of you are tripping in yourself, like you're just dysfunctional at this point. You need to re-regulate your biochemistry, start to meditate, start to get into health and take certain things out of your diet, certain drinks. So I know this with caffeine or Red Bull for me, we're already crazy. A Gemini on a lot of caffeine and Red Bull is insane. Okay? So some of you, you're doing things to yourself that are sabotaging you. Okay? And some of you, like I said, you're not going to find peace in the matrix. So your job is to think, how can I make enough bag that I just don't have to put up with this? Like, that's it. You can either fight the fucking matrix, but you'll die, right? Or you can say, right, how do I make enough resources, enough money, so that I just don't have to deal with this? Okay, so everybody is your teacher, right? Everybody's beneficial, even the people who want to take you down, even the people who want to see you suffer, even the people who did bad things to you. Your mother and father, if you had a bad childhood, your mother and father are a good example how to create a beautiful, happy family. Right? So maybe you came from like a shit parent, but this can be good because it teaches you, I'm never going to do that to my children. Like, I'm going to go out there and love someone so deeply because I didn't experience that as a child. So you can recreate from every kind of tragedy, every kind of betrayal, every kind of pain. Okay? But some of you this week, I'm going to finish on this because this is the big message and I might see what love is coming up as well. Lots of energy. And so this energy can either be destructive or it can be constructive. There's a lot of energy with the Mercury retrograde still in place, Sag energy, Mars retrograde. There's a lot of energy. And you can do two things. You can go into anger, you can go into reaction, you can go into anxiety, fear, you can go into popping off at people. Or you can say, okay, I'm feeling very dark. Some of you are having astral work done on you, dark work done on you. That's something that Geminis need to start taking really seriously. Because you're a magician, because you've come by the right of God to awaken the people, you've all got a destiny, you've all got a mission. Naturally, the devil will come for you profusely. Okay? So some of you is like, for those who are feeling like dark, you wake up feeling dark, you wake up feeling paranoid, you wake up feeling triggered, you need to start taking this stuff really seriously. Not feeding it. Okay? It is an honor to be attacked by the devil. Because when you're attacked by something, it means it fears you. People do not fear people do not attack what they don't fear. They attack what is powerful and what they fear. Okay, there's a lot of people out here not being touched, and it's because no one gives a fuck. They breathe. They are a threat to nobody. Okay, so if people are coming for your ass, you might be doing something right. Okay, but obviously it's not pleasant because sometimes you don't know what's going on. It's like, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? So you do need to start taking the different realms, the different things seriously. But you're not really helping yourself. You're flapping a lot. You're not listening to yourself. You're hyper paranoid. You're kind of all over the place. It's time to rein it in. Okay, it's time to look at what your main problem is and start investing in that. Start fixing that. Okay. And some of you are going to have to be realistic, Gemini, that you're sitting out here, you're whining your ass off, you're not doing the work on money, you're not doing the work on relationships, you're not doing the work on yourself. Okay? The world is a deep, dark place, right? The strong are going to survive now, and it's really about, okay, do I want to survive? And not only do I want to survive, but do I want to thrive? Do I really want to go after the life I want and be such an inspiration? Because that's what we need now. We need people who are out there doing the world that they want, because by doing that, they inspire other people to do it. You know, they show other people it's possible. You can design a life on your own terms. You can live on your own terms. Strong relationships, strong families inspire other people to know that that's still a thing, that marriage is still a thing, that love is still a thing, that you can trust people. But if you don't give something, you don't get something, right? I just think it's a bit of a tragedy because so many of you Geminis, you're good people and you really just want the best. You know, when you stand up for the people, you're not trying to take them down, you're trying to help them. And you're constantly berated for it, but it's just time to do it different. You know, like it's time to focus on yourself, heal yourself, quality, not quantity. Some of you have had a strong lesson this year that you can rely on the small few, that most people are sheep, and the wolves can't sit with the sheep. Okay, they can lead the sheep, they can try, but the wolves don't sit with the sheep. Okay, you got to know what you are. And a lot of you are wolves, and you're out here trying to sit with sheep. And sheep will do anything to keep them safe. They'll sell out at any cost. It's just the facts. They want an easy life, right? And that's it. Okay, so I feel like for you, and this is also heartbreak, Three of Swords. So they're telling you that it's time to drop the burdens. It's time to drop the energetic weight. It's time to drop the past. Some of you need an energy cleanse, a detox. This is everything from the way you're thinking, the old stories you're telling yourself, the victim mentality, your enemies, what they did to you. Gemini, they are your enemies. They're not going to give you grace. Enemies come to kill you. They come to attack you. They come to take you down. Stop sitting there going, why did they do this to me? They're your enemies. Okay, some of you need to look at your friends who call themselves your friends, but they're really your enemies. Okay? And just don't be sensitive. Be grateful. Say thank you to all the people who betrayed you, to all the people who left you at your lowest point, to all of it. Say thank you. Because the truth is a person can only be built when they're broken. Because we're all born into the matrix, right? We're all born into enslavement. It's only when a person is absolutely broken to the knees can they be rebuilt. You're out here crying, going, why? Because it's a good thing, right? That's why God has us on our knees when we pray, to humble us. So some of you had everything stripped from you. Everyone was exposed. Everyone was revealed. Say thank you. Most people will never get that luxury. They'll spend their life from birth to death living a lie. They'll never know themselves. They'll never be broken. If you think your life's a tragedy, try that life. Okay? So pressure, a diamond is built from pressure. And you are a diamond. And you've got these cheap motherfucking gems and these cheap pieces of shit out here trying to tell you the fuck you are. Sit down. Move. Take a seat. Let me show you what a gangster looks like. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, we're not playing with you. Don't tell me who the fuck I am. Don't tell me what my talents are. Don't tell me what I am. Okay? And some of you are just like, instead, some people, they just don't believe in themselves, and so they attack you for that point. But you just need to, if you don't know them, you don't owe them. And this is the same for your friends and family. Some of you have been through the hardest year of your life. You've been tested, and they all turned the back. And you need to renegotiate those motherfuckers. Because they're not ride or dies. They're not real motherfuckers. They pick you up and choose you when it's convenient. Absolutely not. We're not about those people. We need solid people, dependable people. We need to show up for them. They need to show up for us. They invest in us. We invest in them. No cheapness. It's time to up your standards, up your frequency, start to get back to class and character and honour. And most importantly, it's time to remember who the fuck you are. Okay? So, love-wise, you're not ready. Some of yous, okay, the magician reverse. Some of yous don't want to focus on love right now. Some of yous are being honest with yourself when it comes to that. You really need to do some deep healing on yourself before you will be ready for love. Some of you need to be careful because there is somebody who could be with somebody else. They might have a child to somebody else. Okay? No more begging. No more sharing. No more crumbs. So for some of you, something is coming in for some of you, but not this week. Okay, remember, great love takes time. It takes investment. The best things take time. Food that's being cooked properly, it took time. Relationships that last take time. A career that was hard and you had to dedicate yourself to takes time. Okay, that's what makes it beautiful. So I'm going to finish with for yous this week that it's a you week. It's a time to reflect, look at this year, look at your choices, look at your weaknesses, and think about this time next year, do I want to be sitting in this version? Some of you need to look at the version of you that you are as a Gemini and say, if I'm still this version, the end of 2025, will I be okay with it? If I'm still around these people, if I'm still working in this place, if I'm still living in this place, will I be happy? And if the answer is no, then it's time to build a new version. And also, by you not trying to change the world, fight the demons, fight the enemies, be aware, be observant, be intelligent, know what to react to. But by you not fighting everything, and by you conserving your energy, and by you understanding that really the world is created by the version you project. If you're getting a lot of disrespect right now, if people are really devaluing you, if men are showing up in your life and not loving you, there's something about the version, or the women are not loving you, because this is to Gemini men too. It's the version that you're projecting into the reality. It's the energy, it's the frequency. If you fight you, if you change your version, your whole reality will change. The respect people give you, the way people show up in your life, the way men think that they can move in your presence, or women think they can move in your presence. It's a you problem, Gemini. And deep down you know it. Deep down you know it. You've showed weakness this year. You've showed weakness in the previous years. You've conceded. You've allowed fear to dominate. You've repressed and repressed and repressed, and you've been going after certain things. You've been investing in certain things, and it's backfired. But this week is very tired, and the good thing is it is December. It's holiday season. It's a chance to reflect. But like I said, for some of you, you're going to have to be honest that this life that you want, that's gangster, demands a new version. The old version is not going to get you this man, this woman, this luxury, this way of life. So you're going to have to kill yourself, Gemini. And I don't mean literally, although some of you feel like fucking noose and you're just like, fuck this, like, don't do it. Hang on, okay? The team is coming, better times are coming. Just hang on, okay? But some of you need to help yourself at this time. And some of you need to be brutally honest with yourself and get around coaches and teachers and people who are not selling you lies, but they're selling you the truth. And the truth is very painful. And that's the problem. A lot of people are sitting out here watching these dog tarot readers, listening to these liars, listening to these inspirational bullshit. It's really about you've got to pull up all the dirt, all the fear, everything that is decapitating you. Growth is ugly, healing is ugly, but on the other side of it is amazing shit. You know? So that's what I'm getting for this week. I wasn't going to do them, but I thought it's Christmas. I'll throw them out. I'll throw some messages out there. Like I said, you should book your 2025 if you want to get a heads up. There's career reads, there's love reads. I'm still going to be working even though it's the Christmas season. There's face-to-face if you want to book a face-to-face. And for those who really want to do the deeper work before the new year, there is deep coaching. It's got a 99% success rate, so people have said it's changed their life. I'll make sure I get the reviews, and we go deep into many areas to help you. So 2025 is a different gig, but ultimately it's about you. Okay, you have to sit down and say, I want love, I want money, I want my body to be, I want to feel a different way. And that is the thing that you need to start doing the work on and investing in. Okay, and stop competing, Gemini. It demeans you. Stop begging them to support you. Stop begging them to love you. Stop it. It is beneath you. Okay, I think that that's the problem. Yeah, a lot of people are just dropping standards to nothing. It is time for you to say, if I've got to beg for it, if I've got to ask for support, I've absolutely no. I'll do whatever it takes, but I am not for sale and I am not going to beg. Okay, and that's it. Enjoy your week. Everything is in the comment section or the description box below. I'll speak to you soon.